So the Pentagon defending the work of those fighter pilots involved in destroying key Iranian nuclear sites.
When the crews went to work on Friday, they kissed their loved ones goodbye, not knowing when or if they'd be home. Late on Saturday night, their families became aware of what was happening. And on Sunday, when those jets returned from Whiteman, their families were there. Flags flying and tears flowing. I have chills literally talking about this.
He also went on to honor the 44 soldiers, all under the age of 28, who remained at Udeid Air Base in Qatar to defend the base against incoming Iranian strikes. We didn't know where those strikes were going to go. Retired four-star General Jack Keane joins us now. General, we forget about that. We thought for sure that they were going to zero in on Qatar or Iraq through their militias. It must have taken a lot of courage. What are you thinking when you're sitting at that base knowing that you could be the target of a reprisal?
Yeah, well, that's certainly the case here. I think the Iranians carefully selected this target. And when you reflect on it, it's pretty obvious what they were doing. This was the best defended base in the Middle East in terms of air defense systems that we had and also what Qatar had. The same thing for our Navy base that is in Bahrain. The bases in Iraq and Syria are not the same. And nor do they have as many people, and nor are they sprawling in the sense of a major air base like this. So I think they fundamentally selected this because they knew it was so well defended. They really had their fingers crossed, likely, when they fired off those 14 missiles. They did not want them to kill any Americans at that base because they knew what the result of that would be. And that's why, Brian, they told Qatar that the attack was coming. And certainly that was to make certain that the best defense was ready for that attack. So the Iranians were doing a symbolic attack for sure, limited as we have described, for the obvious reasons. They intend to stand down here, and they certainly didn't want any recriminations from the Trump administration.
The foreign minister came out yesterday, and there's some doubt on when these talks are going to get started. But let's assume they get started. They should be direct. But, General, you also caution that this can't just be about the nuclear program. The funding of these surrogates, Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, the Houthis, it's what's causing and roiling the entire Middle East. How do you get them to stop it? How do you enforce that? A lot of it's money and training.
Yeah, well, I think we got to try. I mean, this is a diabolical regime that likely has already made up its mind to recover and rebuild its nuclear enterprise. That's where these guys are. But listen, they're on their knees in a way they never have been. As you mentioned the commentary about the Ayatollah doesn't look as good as he used to look. Well, he's been, in a bunker, for almost 2 weeks with Israeli jets flying over day and night. That's quite a moment for these guys. So I do think we have some opportunities here, at least to try and get them to change their behavior. Stop the aggression against Israel, number one. Recognize that Israel has a right to exist as a state in the Middle East. Number two, stop funding and supporting the proxies. Number three, stop supporting terrorism in the Middle East and around the world. In exchange for what? Sanction relief over time, gradually, based on actual behavior being changed, not just signing some written document, and open up the doors for trading. I think President Trump has got the wind at his back here. He's got leverage that he didn't have before, obviously, of the fact that, look, this country has been defeated. They all have but surrendered. They didn't wave a white flag, but we've seen the elements of it. We have leverage here, and I think we can take advantage. Now, will they change? My instincts tell me no, but it's worth a try.
Right.
Because of that leverage and because of how weak they are.
Yeah, the weakness, too, is what can you actually do? A lot less than you used to. Just a couple of notes. The foreign minister is going to visit China. And if China starts saying, OK, this is how you rebuild your nuclear program, and North Korea goes, yeah, I got some expertise I'll share with you, too. I mean, what do we do on that note? And in the big picture, do you really believe that Israel should be ready to absorb a rocket here or a rocket there and the gradual uptick with Hezbollah and Hamas again? Or do you think there is a chance at a total new Middle East now?
I think we're on the cusp of some real paradigm change. First of all, dealing with Russia and China, none of them came to assist their partner in part of the China, Russia, Iran, North Korea alliance that was formed, the so-called axis that was put together here. In Iran's most desperate moment, neither one of those countries came to help them. They have plenty of ballistic missiles. They have plenty of air defense systems. Those are the things that they needed. No help. We have leverage with Russia and China that we did not have before this strike, because it reflects Americans' boldness and strength. This is all about the President of the United States, and he's the one that has a relationship with both of those leaders. I think his hand has gotten stronger in dealing with them, you know, as a result of this. That's just the reality of what we're facing out there, and that is all good news.
It is.
Now, as opposed to what is happening with the proxies, I was told, I asked the Israelis, when I didn't see Hezbollah come to Iran's defense, the principal reason why they were organized with billions of dollars through the years and also 150,000 rockets and missiles was not just terrorism, is what they did, and they were very good at it, but primarily to defend Iran. So I asked them, do they have any rockets and missiles left? Is that the reason? And he said, oh, they do have thousands of rockets and missiles. I said, why aren't they in the fight? They don't have the will. And they also see that Iran is back on its heels. Why take that risk when they know what the outcome is going to be? That is stunning.
It is, General.
So we have those proxies back on their heels.
Imagine if Lebanon was in control of Lebanon, the Lebanese. Thanks so much, General. It'd be great talking to you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.